Oh,
Hey, buddy, how are you?
hey team, how are you?
Good.
Doing well. How is Australia?
It's okay. It's nice. Weather's okay. A little colder, but it's okay.
Oh, that's not too bad then. I guess it's
No.
anyway. And let's talk about KK's Priest. Obviously, that's why we're here. You guys played some festivals recently. I mean, in August. For me, it's recent time just flies by now.
Yeah,
How were those shows?
they were great. I mean, it's a little more pressure to go in to play your first shows at festivals than it is at your regular shows. Festival crowds are there to see other people, not just yourself. So it was, but they were great. Our stage show is fantastic with the pyro and all the stuff and we played really well, and I'll tell you, the crowds were great. So it was nice to hear them singing along with the KK's Priest songs. Being so new, um, had them really singing a lot. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And like for Bloodstock, you guys were like called last minute to replace Halloween. So were you guys, it was lucky that you guys were ready to go. I mean,
Yeah, it was crazy. All of a sudden, I think it was 3 days before, wasn't it? I don't. It wasn't very a few days. We were playing. It was about 3 days, I think, or somewhere near. Because my issue was the drummer and I had to get visas to get in there to play that show, and I'm like, "Can you guys even get us visas in time to?" Um, our crew. You got to think we were playing Belgium the night before. So that was what the idea was, but the issue was more, can our crew do it? Because and our monitor man he had another gig. He had to fly off after the show. We were able to keep our crew on for one day, and it's funny because that show ended up being amazing. It was so good. Um, I think we were lucky to do it, and I think Bloodstock was lucky to have us do it because I think we were the perfect band to fit into that because we went on next to last. I mean, we were right there, so
yeah.
it was really good.
Yeah, right before Megadeth, which is not,
Yeah,
it's, I mean, for Megadeth, it wouldn't be easy to follow after your performance, I guess.
I I actually agree with that. I think um, we had a great night. I mean, the show was great, and so most of the time, I'm in the I'm I'm in the belief of I love when really good bands go on before me. It makes it's not a
Yeah.
competition to me, so I would love it, but I have a feeling for Mustaine it might have been a little upsetting.
Anyway, and you guys got a new record, but going back to the first album, were you guys surprised how well received it was?
Well, I to be honest, I don't think I was because I'm a fan of heavy metal. I'm a fan of KK. I work hard at what I do, and I knew the band was good, but I just knew the album was good. I thought it was a good heavy metal record. So I was, it is hard nowadays because everybody just whines and bitches all the time about stuff and complains, and they don't like this. And Tim's wearing a hat, and KK's got a leather vest on, and it's like, but like you said, the response was really good to the first record. Um, I think people were surprised. I don't know why, but they were surprised that we came out of the gate as good as we did. But it was nice to have a good response to it.
Yeah. I being a Priest fan, obviously, and you being in Priest, for those albums, and saving Priest's ass back in the day. It was great to see you and KK reunite and doing what you guys do best. And for me, it was a shame that KK was without making anything for so long. And it's good to see him back doing at what it does best, and that's write heavy metal songs. And with the Sinner Rides again, it's you know where were KK? Where was he?
Listen, I agree. I'm happy to be with him. It's like we've never been apart. When we're on stage, we smile, we have fun. It's watching him back in his element and listening to the songs he's writing is it just shows you the importance he was to Judas Priest when he was in the band, in my opinion. I mean, his songwriting is so good. And I mean, these records mean a lot to him. He has something to prove, he has something to prove. And, but it's really nice. It's so great to be right. And he's such a good guy. And his main push on this band is we are a band. Like he treats everybody. He treats people way better than I do. He's such an he's so he's never tired. He's always working. He's having fun. He's smiling. I'm always over there taking a nap, and I'm just like, what the hell's going on? This guy's 70, almost 72 years old, and he's like a ball of energy. But his songs, he's 72 years old, and the songs he's writing are unbelievable.
Yeah. For me, it sounds, it's, you can see that he was an essential part of Judas Priest. People can say whatever they want, KK, and Glenn, they had the chemistry, even if, sometimes you cannot be the best of friends, but when the chemistry is there, it's there, and something happens and you can hear it and you can feel it. And with the KK Priest records, I realized that KK probably had more to do with the Priest sound than I thought he had years ago.
I think you nailed it. I think you're 100% correct. And I think what I keep telling people when they go, hey, that KK's Priest kind of sounds like Judas Priest. And I'm like, how about it sounds like KK Downing?
Yeah.
KK's Priest sounds like KK Downing. And what you're hearing is somebody who wrote for 40 years or so for Judas Priest. Yeah, his songwriting and his ideas are it. But yeah, it shows you how much he was involved with Judas Priest.
Yeah. And, for you being, in the band, being in the band with KK, it's your element. You've been with others, you've been with Malmsteen, other projects, but this is your element.
Well, it really is. And what's great about it is, I've been singing for a long time now. And it's nice to just go and be yourself and sing, especially on the new record. I think doing the Sinner Rights again, it really just, I made a stamp on it. Here I am, take this. And it's great. It's great to be with him. And I feel like it is my element. It's so natural to be next to him and the guys. I mean, AJ and Tony and Sean. I mean, it's a great band and it feels so natural.
Yeah. I say this because, I follow you since you joined Judas Priest back in the day, and you discovered what you did before. And, I listened to Ice Durst, to Malmsteen, but I find that your voice suits this style much better. Nothing against, I think the records you did with Ice Durst, with Malmsteen, they're good. They're good records. You sound great as always. But there's something in this kind of traditional Priest heavy metal that makes your voice shine a bit more than on other bands. Or maybe it's just the problem with the other bands.
I also think, especially now, it's been 30 years, I've molded my voice even more. I got more characters. My range is heavier and more than it was when I was in those other bands already. But and it's also I'm singing, I'm being even more myself, I think is the thing. When I like my solo EP, Return to Death Row, or A New Revenge, these are records that I get to sing like me. It's because I wrote the songs. And same with KK's Priest. Even though Ken wrote them, I get to come into that and be myself. This is who I'm going to sound like and sing like. These other bands were established with other singers, and so you kind of have to. And even though Judas Priest was established with another singer, I still sound the style of music fit me, but I sang like me. I mean, Jugulator and Demolition are a lot different style of singing than the classic Priest. But it's nice to just, especially with the new record, I just recorded it at home in my studio and just sat there and sang it however I wanted, had my coffee and sang.
And one of the things about KK's Priest, and I talk with people that they are fans, it's the callbacks to other Priest songs. Some say it's too much, some say we need more. What is your position? Because does KK's Priest, again, it's, as I was saying, KK is probably more part of Judas Priest than we thought in the beginning. And with KK now we hear, the reason why, it's so good. But the reason for those callbacks, is there any special reason? It's, again, as you were saying, KK needs to prove something. Do you think it's because...
I think this is his life. I mean, this is all he's done his whole life. Think about it. He's been in Judas Priest since the late 60s, basically. I mean, he started the band, a founding member, and this is what his lifeblood. It's not like he's 42 years old trying to do something new. He's in his 70s, and this is all he knows about. So he's always going to have a connection with Judas Priest, no matter what. I mean, so why not kind of make some song titles connected to his life? No one ever says, to me, he's writing these songs because he's connected to them. He's not connecting it to just Judas Priest. He's connecting it to KK Dowling. Yeah. And, but some people just get upset. I mean, they complain about everything. I've never worried about band song titles. It's heavy metal. I mean, Jesus Christ, Judas Priest wrote songs called Turbo Lover, for God's sakes. I mean, I've never been parental guidance. I've never been, I've never complained about a band's, I didn't go, I don't like that band because I don't like the name of the band, or that I've had people say, I don't like this record because the song titles are connected to Judas Priest. I'm like, have you listened to the songs? I mean, and it's funny, but here's how I look at it. KK can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
He wrote those other songs. So, and if someone doesn't like the song titles or the band's name, that's all they're concerned about, then fucking move on and go listen to Poison or Warrant or whatever you want to listen to.
And one of the things about the Judas Priest songs and, the lyrics, I remember when I was young listening to them, but, as I got older and start really to pay attention to the lyrics, there is a whole new world that opened for me with some of the lyrics that when I realized what they could be about, I'm like...
Well, but that's great. But, here's the thing about it. You realize that there was some secret things going on in these lyrics, but that's what's great about heavy metal, because lyrics, when you write lyrics, that's the way they should be written. Like they should have different meanings. Like, does it mean this? Does it mean that? And of course, Rob's lyrics are going to be a little different on some songs because he had things he was hiding but I mean, lyrics are a great thing, because when people say, well, I don't know if I like those lyrics, but yet they love breaking the laws and living after midnights. And, I mean, heavy metal Judas Priest lyrics were great for that reason. Yeah. There was a lot of cheesy lyrics going on, but it was heavy metal. One minute you have a song called The Sentinel that's really great, and then you had a song called Eat Me Alive, so and that's what's great about heavy metal. That's why I loved it. I mean, listen, Ronnie Dio, look at his lyrics. They're about rainbows and dragons and things, and they were so awesome.
Yeah.
But I know what half of them were about.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute, Holy Dive. What is that? I don't know, but it's great. That's what's great.
Yeah, no, I was saying that because, just as you grow older, when you're younger, you probably look at things in a way, and when you get older, you start to realize, okay, maybe it was. But that's a great thing about music, and a song might not mean something to us at a certain time, but at another
Absolutely.
time might mean the world to you. You know,
I, I I write songs like that all the time where they, you know, uh, not being on an island of domination or anything like that, but um, I write songs that you can take different meanings to. But that's the great thing about it. I mean, people. We had half the people that thought songs like "Brothers of the Road" was kind of cheesy, and then half the heavy metal fans were like, "This is perfect. We're all brothers of the road." The other
yeah,
half are going, "That's just." But yeah, I mean, lyrics are great because they can have different meanings.
yeah, and
And you do get older. You do get older, and you go,
yeah. And I was the songwriting for this record started soon after the release of the first one. Did you guys had a break in between, or how was the songwriting process?
we did have a break. I mean, we wanted to tour. That was the plan, was to tour on the first record, but COVID just made it too hard coming off of COVID because all the bands that were on the road were tours that were put together pre-COVID. So I think at one point, I think Ken finally just said, "You know what? I'm going to write a new record." He called me and said, "I'm going to write a new record. Instead of touring, let's put another record out, and then we'll tour on two records." So that's how it went.
Yeah, and coming time to choose a set list. There's a lot of songs that you guys can choose from, including the new ones. But when it comes to Priest, I just have one bone to pick with you guys. There's one
Yeah.
song that you don't play that's on Jugulator that you should play, and I don't know exactly why
Yeah.
you don't play Cathedral Spires.
Well, we might. Just for your information, a lot of times when I tour solo, I play that song, so then you can hear it when I play solo. Well, I think the first set list we just made were set lists for festivals. They were made. You have to make a little bit different set list for a festival because not all that crowd's there to see you. So, I mean, to be honest, I wasn't happy that there was only one song from my era in the set list. That was "Burning Hell." I would have liked to. I would have liked "One on One" from Demolition to be in there for sure.
Yeah.
But that is the song. I think there's two songs, other songs. I like "One on One" to be in the set list. I'd also like us to play Jugulator, the song Jugulator. Yeah. And I'd like to play Cathedral Spires. I think as we go on, once we start making our own tours and different shows, those are songs that we can come back to and look at. It's just, because right away, that's how Ken explained it to me when I said, why are we playing more of my era stuff? And he's like, we got to play a festival set right now. We got to play a set that's going to, get more people. But I'm with you. I say we just play half a set of Jugulator and Demolition. I say we play Jugulator and Demolition songs and KK's Priest songs, and then we're all set.
Yeah, I think, there is plenty of great stuff, from Demolition and from Jugulator that you guys can play, without, overshadowing KK's Priest or other Priest songs that people expect to hear. But I guess it would be nice, to probably hear some of those songs that you guys ended up not playing live, back in the day, and I think would be a great bonus for everyone to hear those songs. For me, Cathedral Spires is just one of those songs that, it should be on any set list, any,
It's, but you don't have to sing it.
No.
I think it would be great. One issue we might have is we're actually tuned up from that tuning, and I know Ken doesn't want to tune. It's only a half a step, I think. I don't know if I might have some issues singing it tuned up, but we'll have to see. But it's definitely a song that I think would be great in there. Ken's probably, Ken hasn't played that song since he did it in the studio.
Yeah.
25 years ago. So he's gonna have to learn it.
Is another bit of work to do. And so you guys have shows in October. After that, what are the plans for KK's Priest?
Well, I mean, we want to try and tour the world. That's the idea, but it's so expensive to tour nowadays. And what we're taking out on the road, the production's not cheap, so it's an expensive adventure to do. So it's not easy. People are like, play here, play here, play there, but it has to be the right venues, the right stages, the right package, and we have to be able to take our show out with the pyro and the lights and everything. So, but I think listen, TKO is our agency, and they're working hard to try and get some touring together. So I hope that we do nothing but tour the next 2 years. That would be great for me.
Yeah. I know fans ask a lot for live shows here, there, and in the, Mars, whatever. But when you've been on this business for so long, you cannot lose money. And that's something that fans need to understand. And if you're going to be on the road, you will not paying to play,
No. Unless you're a young band that's starting off, not when that's how you pay your bills. I mean, this is how I make a living. See, the difference, people see me tour and I play everywhere because I tour solo and my band's in that country and I use them and we tour all over. And it makes it easier because I just fly there by myself. But when, we have 12 people or so in our crew alone. So, I mean, that's a lot of people but here's the thing, and this is what's great about it. In a way, I mean, I'd play anywhere, but KK will only do this if it's right. He'll only do it if it's the right shows and the right, he's not settling for something not that good. He wants to make sure the show's great. So, and that's really cool of him, but I'm ready to get out there and play everywhere.
Cool. And what are your plans, besides KK Priest? You thought about the solo tours. You played Portugal as well. You had the Spanish band with you, if I'm not mistaken, when you played. They did the Iberia shows. What are the plans for you besides KK Priest? Other projects, solo stuff? What's in the works for you?
Well, I mean, I've recorded a lot, put a lot, records out the last few years. 3 Trimmers, Pyramid, A New Revenge, Spirits of Fire. But the main thing besides KK's Priest, which is my main thing, but I put out my solo EP, Return to Death Row, last year. And I think that's a 6-song EP. So I'll probably work on a full 10-length record this year, produced by Jamie Josta. And it's a little heavier, a little thrashier, but it's a great record. So my plan is that if I'm off from KK's Priest is probably to tour solo, maybe do some shows with 3 Trimmers or something, but mainly solo and record the new record. But right now, I'm just hoping it can only be KK's Priest. I'm getting ready to go to South America in October, November to do some dates solo. And so whenever I see what's going on with KK's Priest schedule, I'll probably plug in, hopefully come back to Portugal, Spain, and because my band from Spain is fantastic. They're really good and a great bunch of guys. So hopefully we can book a tour there.
All right. Tim, thank you very much for your time. All the best. Great to see you, with KK again and see and hear you, which is more important. And, the Cena Rides again, it's a great record as was the first one. It's what I love. It's what I grew up with. It's what it's nice to listen to when you're driving, basically.
Thank you. Hopefully I'll see you soon, and you come backstage and have a beer or coffee or whatever. And but get a hold of me on social media if you need any other questions or anything. Just stay in touch.
All right, Tim. Thank you very much. I'll be in touch, and I hope to see you soon. All right.
You got it.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.